Hey friends, welcome back. Tonight I wanted to share with you guys a book that I read when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite books growing up, and it actually got me into monsters. And I couldn't find the book in English, so the actual book itself is in Spanish, but the book was written in English. The book is called Harry and the Terrible Whatzit, written and illustrated by Dick Gackenbach. So I hope you enjoy. I knew there was something terrible down in the cellar. I just knew, because the cellar was dark and damp, and it smelled. "Don't go down there," I told my mother. "Why?" she asked. "There's something terrible down there." "I have to go down in the cellar," she said. "We need a jar of pickles." She never believes me. I waited and waited and waited at the cellar door. She never came back up. Someone had to do something. So I took a broom and went down the cellar steps. It was very black and gloomy, and it smelled. "I know there is something here," I called out. "What did you do with my mother?" Then I saw it. A double-headed, three-clawed, six-toed, long-horned Whatzit. It was hiding behind the furnace. "Where is my mother?" I asked it. "The last time I saw your mother," the Whatzit said, "she was over by the pickle jars. Runt." I was sure the Whatzit was lying. "What did you do with her?" I shouted, and I gave it a swat with the broom. Wham! That made the Whatzit really mad, and it came after me. I swung the broom again. Wham! The Whatzit didn't like that at all. It climbed up the washer, and I hit it right where it sits down. I noticed the Whatzit was getting smaller and smaller, and when I pulled its tail, it got even smaller. Now the Whatzit was down to my size. "Okay, you better tell me what you did with my mother," I said, "or else." "Kid, you're crazy," the Whatzit answered. One of the heads made a face at me. Just for that, I twisted a nose, and the Whatzit shrank some more. "Why are you getting so small?" I asked it. "Because you aren't afraid of me anymore," the Whatzit said. "That always happens just when I'm beginning to feel at home in a closet or in a cellar." And the Whatzit looked very sad. The Whatzit got smaller and smaller. Just when it was about the size of a peanut, I called out, "Try Sheldon Parker's cellar next door. He is afraid of everything." "Thanks," I heard it say. Then the Whatzit was gone. The Whatzit disappeared before it could tell me what it had done with my mother. I looked in the washer. She wasn't in there. I looked behind some boxes. My mother was not there either. I looked inside the wood bin. No mother there. I was worried. Then I found her glasses beside the pickle jars. But what had happened to the rest of her? I was searching for more clues when I discovered the back cellar door was open. I looked outside, and there, in the bright sunlight, was my mother picking flowers. Boy, was I glad to see her. I found your glasses in the cellar, I said. Thank you, Harry, she said. But I thought you were afraid of the cellar. Not any more, I answered. The terrible Whatzit is gone. I chased it away with the broom. Well, she said, I never saw Whatzit down there. She never believes me. I helped her carry the pickles into the kitchen, where she gave me some milk and cookies. You know what, Harry? My mother said. I will never worry about the Whatzit as long as you're around. Maybe she did believe me. Later, I heard an awful yell coming from the house next door. Ah! I'll bet Sheldon looked in the cellar. The end. That was the book Harry and the Terrible Whatzit, written and illustrated by Dick Gackenbach. I hope you enjoyed that story, and if you enjoyed it, please come back and where I will try to read some more stories in both English as well as Spanish. Have a great night.